To this day, I imagine him, Henry, with my little sisters for the first time in the house where it all began, our home on 53rd and Figueroa in Los Angeles, California. Henry has my sisters in his and Mom's bedroom. He is looking at them with a hunger in his eyes they have never seen before. I can picture my little sisters sitting on their bed trembling, not understanding what is about to happen to them. They're wearing those cute little flowery white dresses with the blue ruffle collar, white socks, and black shoes. Their soft black hair is pulled back into the favorite style of many little girls, 2 ponytails. Each is held in place with a black stretchy hair tie that has those cheap blue plastic balls on the ends. My little sisters look as if it's picture day at school. They both look beautiful, except for one thing. Tears of fear are flowing down their frightened faces. I see their tiny legs and knees shaking as they try to keep them closed tight. I picture their little hands with their short, dirty fingernails, dirty from playing outside, pressing their baby-like knees together, confused about why they are alone with him like this. Terror is etched across each of their tiny faces. Henry is sitting next to them. He is gently whispering words they cannot comprehend due to the intense fear fogging their minds. My little sisters don't understand what is coming for them, what is about to happen. His humongous rough hands, the ones that can swallow mine whole, begin rubbing up and down the small of their backs. After a minute, he places one hand on their tiny legs. He is feeling them all over, touching their hair, touching their faces as he tries to stem the flow of tears. The whole time he speaks to them softly, reassuring them that everything is all right, that what he is doing is normal, that what he is doing to them is something all fathers do to their daughters. It's a rite of passage. He delights in the lie. I can picture them so young, so innocent, terrified that something awful is about to happen to them. In the semi-darkness, it is the only bedroom on the first floor, the room next to the front door. He is alone with them. No one can hear them. No one can see them. Sitting on the bed, they are paralyzed with unimaginable fear, unable to move. What can they do? Where can they run? Is there no adult around to help them, to protect them, to hear their tiny screams? I can see the looks on their faces, desperately hoping someone, anyone, will burst through the bedroom door into his secret hiding place and holler, "Stop, you monster!" saving them from what is about to happen. My little sisters, who have never had a problem being heard in our home, want to holler, to scream for help. I see them opening their mouths to form the words as a stream of tears quickly navigates down around their faces. Like skiers on a black run, each tear quickly masters the contour of their face. Each glides into the crease around their noses, then quickly slides to the outside of their lips, wrapping their mouths, finally coming to an abrupt halt on their faces. Their terror tears hang off a cliff, slowly swaying back and forth until they no longer have the strength to hold on. Each tear releases their hold and jumps down silently into their trembling laps. They need to say something that will get him to stop, but fear has robbed them of their powerful voices. Not a word escapes except one, barely audible, scarcely able to be articulated. The sound, more than the word itself, is all Henry needs to continue pursuing his desire. In Henry's sick mind, my 5- and 6-year-old sisters have just blessed him with permission to succeed. Wide-eyed, they look down and watch in terror as his enormous fingers spread and slowly creep up their legs. Panting like an agitated dog in heat, Henry's hot breath covers them as he slowly leans ever closer to hear the whispered word he has so longed to hear. Don't say anything. Okay. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Don't tell mommy. Okay. Don't tell your brothers. Okay. Don't tell the twins. Okay. It's our little secret. It'll be all right. Okay. It won't hurt. You won't feel a thing, I promise. Okay. You believe me, right? Okay. It's okay because mommy knows. Okay. As my little sisters continue saying, okay, the one word their stepfather desperately seeks to hear after each question, he takes their answer not only as consent, but as them urging him to keep going, begging him not to stop. To Henry, their terrified, barely audible, okay, means one thing: consensual sex with his 5- and 6-year-old stepdaughters has been granted. For him, it means, I will do whatever you want me to do, Daddy, if that'll make you happy. As each barely audible guttural, okay, is forced out, he slowly begins to stand up and face them. After uncoiling himself like a giant serpent, our stepfather reaches his full height of 6'6". Taking a few steps to the side, he reaches over and turns off the dimly lit lamp on the nightstand. The only light now coming into the bedroom comes from the sunlight that manages to fight its way through several rips of double thick black plastic leaf and lawn bags covering the bedroom windows. The two hands by his side a few seconds ago had begun slowly and deliberately making their way toward his belt buckle. His massive chest rises and settles, rises and settles. My sisters can hear his ragged breathing. It is a sound they have never heard the like of before in their young lives. It is the sound of animal anticipation. Unbuckling his belt, Henry knows he does not have on underpants, and this excites him even more. His long, fat fingers unsnap his pants. Never taking his gaze off my sister's eyes, he longs for a reaction from them. He hungers for any sign of a hint indicating they know what is coming once his pants, which are as long as they are tall, hit the floor. The very notion that they may know what is about to happen quickens his breathing, exhilarating him even more. Grasping his pants zipper and tugging down slowly, never taking his gaze off my sister's, the bedroom fills with the slow sound of zip. The zipper reaches its metal stop at the bottom, terminating its descent. His pants begin to slip down his legs. A large bulge is pushing the fabric out just below the zipper. But due to his protuberance, his pants only drop a few inches. Grasping the outside of his pants, he begins pulling them down even further, stopping below his knees. He releases his hands. They continue slowly, silently sliding down his long, hairy legs. They finally come to a halt, covering his scuffed, unpolished, black shoes as the sound of soft clothing contacts the floor, kicking up dust that has been undisturbed by a broom for who knows how long. He's breathing heavy now. His child's prey is right in front of him with nowhere to run. Even more exciting is knowing no one's in the house to stop him. In my mind's eye, I visualize my little sisters are horrified by what they see. For the first time, they see an adult penis, one that is fully erect. In the near darkness, light bounces off drifting dust as each particle fades into shadow, only to reappear in the next sliver of sunlight. Standing in the middle of the room, towering, the near naked silhouette of our stepfather is backlit, glistening as traces of sweat outline his butt and legs. Taking a step toward my little sisters, he comes to a halt directly in front of them. His eye-level protrusion indicating how visibly excited he is to be alone with them. With absolute terror in their eyes, my little sisters do their best to look up past the erect penis into his face, fearful of what is literally thrusting at them. In a room void, except for the slightest of light and the sound of the zipper being pulled down, they are exposed to something their wildest imaginations could never conjure in a million years. The room continues to be filled with Henry's deep, heavy breathing. To a 6-year-old trapped in an oubliette, their stepfather has been transformed into what they do not know. The hulking shadow of the semi-nude Henry is enormous. For my little sisters, falling into this looking glass is much deeper and darker than the one for Alice. There is no blue caterpillar smoking a hookah to guide them to safety, or a white rabbit racing past them shouting a warning for them to escape before it's too late. It is only them and one very mad hatter. This mountain of a man who has become even larger when wearing his wig as it covers his receding hairline, and his large beard must look like the mythical Bigfoot monster as he towers over them. Standing mere inches from them, Henry shuffles towards my sisters, turns around, sits down next to them on the bed. Breathing hard, he whispers, "There's nothing to be afraid of. People do this all the time." Seizing one of their hands, he says, "Here, touch it. It's okay. Let me show you how easy it is." He then takes one of their tiny hands and places it on his penis exactly where he wants it. "See, honey, there's nothing to be afraid of." Frightened and alone, they scream out, "No, I don't want to. I want to get out of here. Where's Mommy? Where are the boys? Where are the twins?" Unfortunately for them, their screams are not heard since they only exist in their heads. He then raises one giant hand, puts it on the back of their heads, and gently forces their faces slowly down, 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 until